The dark feminine is one half of the divine feminine. She is not the negative, shadow aspect of the feminine, but rather the dark, fiery, transformational aspect of womanhood. The birth, death, and rebirth cycle is at the center of our story as women, and at the center of Mother Earth. The dark feminine is not necessarily the naughty, or the negative, aspect of the feminine, nor is it always the embodiment of the whore. At the same time, the lighter side of femininity is the Madonna. The dark feminine is the expression of the dark, positive, and necessary energy that captures the mysteries of womanhood and magic, the chaos of creation and destruction, death and birth, transformation, rage, fierce compassion, seduction, and pure spiritual ecstasy. In myth and religion, the dark feminine is expressed by goddesses Kali, Lilith, Inanna, Lakshmi, Oya, and Isis. In the media, we can see the dark feminine expressed in public figures like Monica Bellucci, Angelina Jolie, Rihanna, Beyoncé, Megan Fox, and Kerry Washington, as Olivia Pope in Scandal. These goddesses play roles in religions, myths, and stories that often depict them as being pushed into their shadow by circumstance, or pushing others into their own shadow to transform and ascend, experience death, and be reborn. When a woman has a healthy relationship with the dark feminine energy inside of her, she can access incredible amounts of creative energy. She is often very comfortable in her body and expressing herself sexually. When a woman is in tune with the dark feminine, her sexual energy has the potential to engulf and overtake the sexuality of a man completely. The dark feminine woman is also often wildly seductive and sensual, attracting both men and women's attention. Dark feminine energy also helps a woman to heal her wounded feminine by giving her the strength and courage needed to create boundaries and communicate clearly about her wants and needs. She transforms from a victim to an agent of radical change. She becomes an alchemist. There's no denying the disconnect between modern feminism and the new femininity movement. Femininity is seen as regressive and repressive, while feminism is seen as necessary for our femme survival, and understandably so. Femininity is viewed as a liability in our society, because our society is traditionally patriarchal and anti-feminine. However, I believe femininity has been misunderstood and dangerously underestimated. To its detriment, femininity is typically only described as the embodiment of reception, passivity, and gentility, or complete submission to the masculine. However, this one-sided depiction leaves out other fundamental aspects of the feminine. I believe that the uncovering and the teaching of the dark feminine is a significant key to uniting all women and progressing into a harmonious future with our masculine counterparts. As women, we are often taught to bury our anger, our true sexual desire, and our power, because it's not ladylike. We're taught that our worth and value are tied to how sexually attractive we are to men. We're taught that we exist here to support the men in our lives and produce and raise children at the cost of our desires. Similarly, men are taught to marry women who have shunned their dark feminine because they are safer. But this only leads to both women and men desiring to explore that dark side of themselves, but feeling shame over doing so. Men who repress their dark masculine will often cheat on their partners in pursuit of the dark feminine, whether with a woman in touch with her dark side, or a stripper, or prostitute. Although the majority of those working in the sex industry are embracing a disempowering version of the dark feminine, as they are there for the money rather than because they enjoy the work they do. The light side of the feminine has been rising for some time. Although there is much resistance to her, she is welcomed much more warmly than the dark feminine. Why? Because the patriarchy, along with modern religion, has done a brilliant job of convincing us that dark feminine energy is bad, and evil and sinful. Female pleasure for pleasure's sake rather than procreation. Sin. Witchcraft. Evil. Speaking your truth. Shut up. Bleeding each month. Disgusting. Women being independent, sovereign beings. Nope, not allowed. Being single and choosing not to get married. There's something wrong with you. Women have been associated with the dark since the beginning of time. Women rule the night and the moon, while men rule the day and the sun. But somewhere along the way, the dark became something to fear and avoid. Women, particularly practicing witches, became something to fear. Why? Because they could not be controlled. Because they were fucking powerful beings. And they were a severe threat to the patriarchal structures being built. So women have learned to reject the darkness, their moon cycle, witchcraft, and dark feminine energy. But shunning and repressing the dark feminine within us and our world has disconnected us from our power and each other. During matriarchal society, both sides of the feminine were very much present and revered. Gradually, dark feminine energy became distorted as matriarchy fell and was overtaken by patriarchy. If we want to reclaim this dark side of ourselves, we must let go of any propaganda and limiting beliefs we've inherited and be open to welcoming her back into our lives. The dark feminine is our key to letting go of anything that no longer serves us, plunging into the unknown, reconnecting with our inner strength and power, feeling at home in our bodies and our sexual energy, accessing creativity, strengthening our boundaries and needs and knowing how to communicate them without guilt. This is how we go from being a victim to an alchemist. The dark feminine is our key to letting go of anything that no longer serves us, plunging into the unknown, reconnecting with our inner strength and power, feeling at home in our bodies and our sexual energy, accessing creativity, strengthening our boundaries and needs and knowing how to communicate them without guilt. This is how we go from being a victim to an alchemist.